Hi there, guys. I'm John Green, and welcome back to Crash Course Rock and Roll in American Politics. Okay, so maybe I'm not John Green, and there is really no crash course on rock and roll and American politics, but I think there should be. People have been connecting music to politics since the age of the great thinkers, Plato and Aristotle, and today I want to prove to you that they should be included by first going over the types of theory, then moving on to the history of our most politically influential band, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, then showing the direct political influence they've displayed throughout the years and even up until more recent times in history. So, let's jump right into it, shall we? We'll start off with a couple definitions to clarify everything. First, politics. The definition that we're going to use is from Merriam-Webster and states that politics is the total complex of relations between people living in a society. That means that it can relate to government, social issues, and a number of other things between people. And next, influence. The act or power of producing an effect with or without apparent exertion of force or direct exercise of command. Now, on to theory.
Soldiers are cutting us down. Should have been done long ago. What if you knew her and found her?
We'll start by first looking at the views of Plato and Aristotle. They argued that music equals morality. Plato said, "The models of music are never disturbed without the unsettling of the most fundamental political and social conventions," arguing that music could change how people within a society think, act, and govern. Now, let's apply this to some rock and roll, in particular, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Each of them believed that this theory was accurate as well. It was very apparent, especially in songs such as Military Madness, Ohio, and Southern Man, to name a few. They all stand for something different: anti-military, anti-police brutality, and ending Southern racism. That was not only a major political issue at the time, but also something they strongly believed in and genuinely wanted to change within their society.
Southern man, better keep your head. Don't.
Next, we can look at the views of philosopher Theodore Adorno. He also believed that music was very important to society, but it came with its own duality. Music could either be used as a means of control or as an instrument of resistance. The fact that Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young played at Woodstock, Muse anti-nuclear benefit, and released songs like Ohio, all of which directly opposed the views and actions of the government, were proof of this theory. All the while, other bands of the same time period decided to keep things very much the same, and even released songs like Lynyrd Skynyrd's Sweet Home Alabama to try to get people to ignore the message of the song Southern Man, which preached against racism. They did this in order to control their fans and continue the beliefs to keep them subdued and away from societal change. This is direct proof of the theory and its duality in action.
The wars are still going on. How much longer? Military madness!
Given that Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young are hugely known for being the band of well-known rock stars, our approach to looking at their history will be first to look at each separate member and then to assess the band as a whole. David Crosby. He was born destined for greatness, with a poet and singer for a mother, and an Academy Award-winning cinematographer for a father. He developed a taste for music growing up, and by 1964 he co-founded The Byrds, which really blew up his career when he and his band got permission to play Bob Dylan's Mr. Tambourine Man in their own unique style. Like all the members of the band, he was not shy about his very progressive beliefs, and served as the sperm donor in the 1990s for a celebrity lesbian couple named Melissa Etheridge and Julie Cypher. He has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2 separate times, once in 1991 for the Byrds and once in 1997 for Crosby, Stills, and Nash. He has also been inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2009. From about 2016 to now, he began making music with a son he reconnected with after the boy's mother put him up for adoption. They continue to make music together as a father and son duo to this day. Stephen Stills. He began his career as a member of the A-Go-Go Singers, named after the Café A-Go-Go where they performed, and then later became a member of the company. After his fame grew, and in time, he helped to found Buffalo Springfield, where he wrote the song For What It's Worth, displaying his distaste for the police brutality occurring to and around protests around a curfew being proposed in California. That song ended up becoming number 3 on the top 10 protest songs listed by Rolling Stone magazine. They were wildly popular as a band, but broke up within a few years of getting started. Stills worked on a solo career while helping to found Crosby, Stills, and Nash, which later added Neil Young. He has the prestige of landing on the Rolling Stones' Top 100 Greatest Guitarists at number 47. And he was the first person ever in history to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2 times in one single night. Graham Nash. The only member of Crosby, Stills, and Nash not from North America began his career as a part of the British band The Hollies. Once they broke up, he jumped on board with Crosby and Stills to form a band. In the 1970s and on until today, he has been very vocal about his involvement in social and political issues. He is a very active member of Muse, Musicians United for Safe Energy, and has spoken out for the anti-nuclear movement his entire career up until present. He has even played with Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young for a benefit concert in 1979 that strongly supported denuclearization. Neil Young. Dubbed by many the godfather of grunge, Neil Young has become one of the most well-known names in classic rock. As a child, he struggled with ailments such as epilepsy, diabetes, and even polio. By the age of 6, he could not walk, but in time he overcame his challenges. He played with the Squires initially, but left quickly to pursue other options. He became a part of the Mynah Birds with Stephen Stills. However, before they could finish their first album with the prestigious Motown Records, the band broke up. A recurring theme for Young is his draw to solo work, canceling tours and leaving bands to pursue his own interests and goals. In more recent years, there was a Buffalo Springfield revival tour scheduled, but after only 2 stops, Young left the tour and inadvertently created a separate Crosby, Stills, and Nash tour when Stills told his friends and former bandmates what had happened. Young had done a lot of good with his influence, however, working with many social and environmental causes, such as Farm Aid with Willie Nelson and John Mellencamp, Music Cares, Global Poverty Project, and even creating a benefit for funding the Bridge School in Hillsborough, due to his passion for helping special needs children, like his own with cerebral palsy and epilepsy. Many huge names get together annually to raise money for this cause. Young is most definitely not one to sit quietly on his views. Now for the band as a whole. Paired together, these influential artists have made quite a splash. The song the band recorded, titled Ohio, is listed as number 2 on Rolling Stone's top 10 protest songs list. Written in regards to the Kent State killings, its catchy 4 Dead in Ohio line resonated greatly amongst the public. Together, they have played at major benefit concerts, such as Live Aid, which generated $40 to $50 million for Haitians, and the Muse anti-nuclear benefit in 1979, which the Washington Post predicted to be the largest financial boost for the anti-nuclear movement. As a group, they were all also very vocal about their distaste for Trump in more recent times, which definitely helped them reconnect in recent years despite controversy about Neil Young's involvement with the now president along the campaign trail.
Sorry. Sometimes it hurts so badly I must cry out loud. I am lonely. I am yours. You are mine. You are what you are.
And thus, in conclusion, rock and roll in American politics has indeed been heavily influenced by the band Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young because of their use of protest songs and music to make a social or environmental impact in the world. Also, due to the fact that the theories of Aristotle, Plato, and Adorno all corroborate these same ideas. So although this may not really be a crash course video, Hopefully, it was still informative and made an impact on your view of music today and how you view it in the future.